Hello, 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 my Wheel of Time friendos. How are you? How is everyone tonight? We're live. We are live, baby. Mary Lou will be with us in just a minute, but I didn't want to leave y'all hanging, so I'm here. I'm here, and you can help me pick what color my background should be What my background should be tonight. Should be tonight. Oh, y'all, if that's how my words are being tonight, this is gonna be a long stream. Uh, oh, there she is, Mary Lou. Let me add her to the stream. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Quite good. How is everyone?
They are good. And
Favorite episode so far? Wow.
interesting take.
Seems like a setup for a future payoff, Mr. F. I want to hear about that. Ton of
Yes.
world building, strong emotional beats. Agreed. Sorry, I'm getting caught up. Getting caught up.
Catch up. Why are you Dodgers, Aja? Were you at a game?
No, I'm just my hair's dirty, so I wore a hat, so I'm Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Mary Lou shows up late to our party every time, Marissa.
Okay, listen. To be fair, I told you 8:58ish.
But I'd already scheduled that for 8. Well, I put it at 8:15 because you said 8ish, which maybe I was being too optimistic.
What?
Hopeful. I just wanted to jump on here. No, you're right.
I was here
You're
at
right.
8:15.
You're right. You're perfect. I was just joking.
But to be fair, I am always late to my parties. One time, this is a fun story. One time, I think it was my 24th birthday. I got a haircut that day, and I was like, "You can style it for me for I'm having a birthday party later." And she was like, "Yes." And we bonded about how I do a lot of vintage work. I do a lot of pinup stuff for the jazz group that I sing in. I do a lot of pinup hair and makeup. And we were bonding over that. And she was like, "Let me give you pinup hair. I would love that." And I was like, "Girlfriend, yes, let's." We were tight. I loved her. We were totally vibing. And vintage hair is weird in that when you're styling it, it looks absolutely insane. So you're like teasing it, you curled it, it looks cuckoo bonkers. And then you brush it all out and it looks like gorgeous. That's how you see the pinups get their hair. Like it's just massive amounts of teasing and hairspray. So she's doing all the teasing and the hairspray and it looks crazy. And then she goes, "Okay, I'm done." And I was like, "What?" Because it looked like I had a helmet on, like a helmet of hair.
That's what vintage hair looks like.
It looked crazy. I looked like a jellyfish. It looked like this giant like bowl cut with like tendrils of curls hanging down. It looked nothing like vintage hair, and I was like, "Cool."
Well,
so I
Mary
went home,
Lou,
I showered, and I was still in the shower when people came for my birthday party. So that's the moral of the story is, am I late to my own parties? Always.
It's very exciting. So I think we're gonna have like a lot of hair talk today. Maybe.
Hair talk. There was so much good hair in this episode.
But speaking of this episode, are you ready to talk about the Wheel of Time?
So ready.
Okay, Mary Lou, start us off.
Hello and welcome to Maidens of the Spear, where we talk Wheel of Time and we have a really good time. I'm Mary Lou.
I'm Sarah, and we're here to talk about episode 5. This is
episode
our immediate
5, baby. Blood calls blood.
Immediate reaction stream. We just watched it.
Watched it.
We're here to Dagnab talk about it.
We're here to Dagnab talks about it with y'all, and just this is just first reactions, gut feelings. We're gonna have our usual scheduled talk on Monday, where we might have some more like organized thoughts about things we want to talk about. But honestly, I just watched it. I had to run straight to work and ran straight back.
Wheel Jazeel. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You want it? It's yours.
That gets toe. If you want toe,
I'm never gonna deny you.
Toe. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So thoughts and feelings. Not a lot of plot. in this
Not a lot of
episode.
plot in this one. Yeah. So I
But
got some screenshots.
instead of plot, we got a lot of like feelings,
A lot of feelings.
which
Got
I don't mind. I love feelings, especially when they are felt by such incredible performers.
yeah. I was thinking we would just run through like the 3 different plot lines.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
First
Um,
thing did you see this 1 month later, Chiron? Also, could you put your headphones on?
oh my god, yes. Okay, be right back.
Because I don't know about y'all, the first time I watched this, I did not see the 1 month later Chiron, and I was like, "Wow, they got to Tar Valon fast. They got there so fast." But it took them a month, so it wasn't that fast. Still pretty fast. Convenient they all arrived at the same time. Pintorp Tash is asking for some G, and Pintorp Tash,
For
you know what
that,
that gets you on this channel.
you get
That
so.
gets you toe. Get
Yeah.
out of here, Pintorp Tash.
Sorry, friend.
But yeah, Mary Lou, did you realize this episode was 1 month later?
Yeah, absolutely, I did. I have no idea how you missed that.
I just missed it. It's like really big right in the middle. There's a whole
Super big, yeah.
thing of it. Yeah, I was distracted because when I watched it the first time, I tried watching it on our TV and the quality was terrible because I tried watching it right at 4 and the stream quality on our beautiful television was just it looked like garbage and I had to go watch it on my little laptop.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I definitely did not miss it, but you were distracted. Did anybody else miss it? Anyone in the chat miss it?
Yeah. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah,
Anyway.
blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah, I liked the 1 month later. I liked the hair growth on Rand and Matt to show us, you know, time has passed.
It was just me. Thank you, Ham.
Yeah, I think it was just you, Sarah.
I was like gonna get on here and I was like, we can all commiserate about having missed this 1 month later, Chiron. That's very obvious right in the middle.
Yeah. And it's up there for like a few seconds.
All right, Articus. Okay. All right, rub it in.
Yeah, this is fun because usually you're right about everything. And so it's like the one thing that like you missed that I can feel like, yeah, I didn't miss it. Who missed that? You?
I, for the record, am wrong about things often.
I know, I'm teasing.
We'll talk about one of the things I was wrong about later today, but you want to start with Rand and Egwene? I was thinking.
Do you mean Perrin and Egwene?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to start with them.
So I'm just gonna like flash through some screenshots that I got pulled up because I don't want them up. So you know we could talk about any of this stuff, but first we're with the Tuathon.
I want to talk about the Tuathon. They're walking. I like Perrin's hair. I like how it's starting to be locked, like the other Tuathon. When they see the White Cloaks, they were so much more confrontational than I thought they would be. And this like theory of like nonviolent civil disobedience is a very interesting change for me because it was so clearly like practiced.
Oh yeah,
That, like, this is what we do.
This is direct action training. Anyone who's been to a protest where they expect to have to make a line has practiced this exact thing, and then watching the fucking White Cloak cops beat them up. That was a very direct.
Yeah, that was a very direct action placed against them. Yeah, I really liked this change. The Tuathon in the books just run. What do? They run. And that's like explicitly what they say. What do? Yeah. We run. And these guys didn't run. They linked as if like that's what they always do. And that's the way of part of the way of the leaf. And honestly, I love it. Gives them a little more power.
What did you think of, just because Caitlin just asked this, what did you think of Perrin and Egwene running in this scenario? Do you think that felt true to those characters? I actually hadn't thought this, Caitlin, but as you pointed out, I think it's a fair question.
I think that's a really fair question, Caitlin. I agree that I don't think he would have run in any other situation other than he personally is being sought out. Yeah. Right? Because they were like, that guy, that girl, we want them. And I mean, we do see in book Perrin, he's like, I'm gonna go back to the White Cloaks, so they'll hang me, and then everything will be fine because they'll hang me, and then everything they'll go away. And
I like
everybody's
that
like,
your
Perrin,
parent has a very
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow voice, yeah.
Yeah, because they're similarly like honorable and stupid. I see them very like, you know nothing, Perrin Golden
Yeah.
Eyes. Very much like, are you stupid? Like, of course that's not gonna solve anything, and also you'll be dead.
Alan thinks he was protecting Egwene. I think that's true. I also agree with Boggy that he probably knew in that moment he would only make it worse if he tried to fight. But
yeah. If he tried to fight, or if he stayed, right? Because the Tuatha'an would continue to stand in between.
Oh yeah, I think the only options for him were run or fight the White Cloaks, but like he would have just been murked.
Or give himself up, which I don't think he would do because he's seen how scary the White Cloaks are, right? If Moiraine is afraid of them, then I'd be afraid of them too.
I think if Egwene weren't with him, he might have given himself up, but I don't think he would have, knowing she was there.
Right. Especially since like how we've seen how they treat women, right? And so Egwene was ostensibly the one who was in danger, not knowing Eamon Valda's sick, twisted plans.
Yeah. Speaking of those sick, twisted plans, let's well first just a little
the worst.
I like these heads.
Love the heads.
I like it as a detail because like pretty much anytime they stop next to a big rock in the books, it is a carved piece of statue.
Right.
So I like it.
Face somewhere.
Just good detail shit. So first, I could have screenshotted them doing their creepy scrubbing of Egwene, but I hated watching it, so I didn't want to screenshot it.
The worst Korean spa of all time. Like, if you've been to the Korean spa, you know that those ladies will scrub you down, but it's like tough love, and this is like tough hatred. Like, it felt mean.
Yeah, they gave her the old scrub-a-dub. I did not like it. It looked
the
awful.
cleaning under the fingernails.
God, it looks so painful. Why do you think they did that? Because they didn't clean Perrin. Like this was just for Egwene.
This was just for Egwene. I think it's because it's a purification ritual because she's dirty. She is inherently dirty and disgusting by being an Aes Sedai, or if she's not an Aes Sedai, she's at least a woman who can channel, which is almost as bad, which Eamon Valda himself says there's no other way it could possibly be inferred than a power from the Dark One himself. So if she's so dirty and disgusting, but she's going to have an audience with the High Inquisitor or whatever he is, then she must be purified. What did you think about that?
I hated watching it. I don't want to watch it.
I mean, it was disgusting. Yeah. It's horrible.
I felt similarly. I also thought it might have just been like straight up because she was naked. I mean, it was like sexually degrading, and I think it was not just a ritual cleansing, but also like a putting her in her place.
Absolutely a power play to show like how vulnerable she is. The way they held her face, right? Like very unnecessary use of force.
Rahaf, why do we think Valda was so interested in Perrin and Egwene? Well, he remembered them definitely from having traveled with Moiraine. Yeah. And I think he knew Moiraine was an Aes Sedai.
But couldn't prove it, yeah.
Especially now that it's confirmed that he believes Aes Sedai can't lie, and the fact that he didn't ask her right then and there, are you an Aes Sedai, when he was meeting with Moiraine. He didn't want to out her for whatever reason. He had someone on Twitter suggested he didn't want to out her in front of Jeffrey Bornhold because then he couldn't do all of his psychotic questioner stuff he would normally want to do.
I don't understand that because the Lord Commander gave him the sharp bird in congratulations for his victory. So doesn't the Lord Commander know about all the sick, twisted shit he does?
But not Jeffrey Bornhold though. I think that was probably.
Oh, I'm Pedro Nile. Yeah,
Pedro
sorry.
Nile.
Okay. Duh.
Yeah. But
yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I think. I mean, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt on that scene because it still bothers me. Because in my headcanon was he doesn't believe Aes Sedai can't lie, but now it's confirmed that he does. Anyway, doesn't matter. So he's got Egwene. We're forced to watch him talk and eat again. I hate it. Genuinely, like I don't like watching him eat. It grosses me out, and that's not like "Oh, he's a good villain, I don't like him." This is a literally, "I don't wanna watch it anymore, stop making him eat at me."
Is it
Please.
anyone or is it just him or what is it
It was
about it?
all of the eating today. I didn't like watching Alana talk while she was eating. I'm like, there was just so much eating today. I don't know. It was those 2.
Just
They
those
can
2?
they can eat, but I don't wanna watch them talk while they eat. You know that not to get too Game of Thrones, but, like, when we had to watch what's his face? You know the guy.
Joffrey?
No, no, the old guy
The
who
king of the towers. Yeah, the Frey, Walder Frey
yeah, Walder Frey, we had to, like, watch
at
him
the
do
Red
that feasting.
Wedding.
It's so gross. Oh, I hate it. I just
Yeah.
don't like watching people eat, I guess. I don't know.
As an actor, I can tell you that that is like the number one trick that people use to like add like a groundedness to scenes or like realism is just like eat something while you're talking. So when I see actors eating in a show, like I'm like I see you. You're like I don't
Ugh,
know, they're trying to like
no.
add the realism to the scene. Um
Having, like, a little pig on a silver platter and eating it while
the
doing
little
this didn't feel
pig.
real to me. I was like, "This is just gross."
Yeah, the little roast suckling pig was a little on the nose, and I mean, all of his evil monologuing is a little on the nose. Especially since I'm gonna have to. This is the first episode that
Alright,
I
I'm
feel
doing a
like
poll.
I have.
Did
Yeah, do the poll on Twitter.
you like watching Valda eat?
I don't know if anybody's thought about it as much
This is
as
a
we
YouTube
have.
poll, so, no, it just, like,
Oh, a
I didn't
YouTube
even
poll.
I didn't even think about it that much. It just watching it, I was like, "This is gross, stop eating. I don't want to watch you take another bite." This is like, doesn't matter, they do it they do it. It's just
What
like,
was
I
I
was
gonna
like, "I don't
say?
wanna have to watch Valda eat every time he's on screen." Yeah,
I know. I
torture makes
hope.
him hungry, I know.
um.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Valda is too over the top. The
I
other
don't
White
think the
Cloaks
White
are
Cloaks are
fine.
over the top. I think Vald is a little over the top because I don't like his monologuing at his victims. That just feels very tropey evil villain to me.
Yeah.
Um
Oh god, Denethor and the tomato. Why did you make me remember that?
oh,
Oh my
we don't
god.
no, we don't need to talk about that tomato. Ramsay eating the sausage.
Yeah.
At least that made for funny memes.
Wow, people did not like watching him eat, but it's pretty split. So, um,
I didn't
anyway,
mind it. Because what it signals to us is like this person is very comfortable, right? If somebody's comfortable enough to be eating, there
it just
means they're relaxed. They feel in power and not in danger.
it felt performative to me.
Well, this
But
character's
sure.
performative.
Yeah, all right. Well, fair enough. Then he
Um,
does the awful knifing of parents back, which I hated so
so
much.
I hated it so much, especially since it looks like he's doing it in some sort of like lattice
Oh,
design.
yeah.
He's like doing it in some sort of like pattern, which is horrible and I hate that. But second, what I was started to say and then forgot to finish was that this is the first episode that I think I need to rewatch. Like need to rewatch it
Well,
because I don't think I
wait,
listened fully to what he was saying.
we have an issue here, Mary Lou.
Oh no, what's the problem?
My dear sweet girlfriend Magu has just returned from her office Christmas party and she hasn't seen the episode yet, but we are live streaming about the episode. Hi,
Oh no.
Magu. Get back in here.
Hi, Maddie. Isn't
This
she
is Maddie,
cute?
everyone. Look at Maddie.
Look how
She's
beautiful
very
she
cute.
is.
Um, yeah, get out of here. She doesn't
Get
want
out
to
of
hear
here. Plug
me
your ears. Put
talking
in your
about it.
AirPods.
Okay, but I'm going to talk a little quieter so she
Okay.
doesn't hear me
Good.
because I don't exist in an office. I exist in the middle hallway in our house because it's a very
It's
small
very
apartment.
funny. This looks like an office. It's not. It's like a yeah, it's like a little hallway. It's very cute. Cute
It's a little
though.
hallway.
You've made it very homey. But anyway,
Thank you.
okay, as I was saying, this is the first episode that I think I desperately need to rewatch because as he was cutting into Perrin, I think I caught like 70% of what he was saying. I was just so distracted by like Perrin screaming and the like knife cuts that were going on and he's like monologuing the whole time and I missed maybe like 20% of it. So I got to
Um,
go back.
yeah, you should. And in fact, I do. I do hate
Yeah,
watching it, and
do
I don't want to
and
see it
did
anymore.
and will.
I just
You
like
ended in well.
it's one thing to have it implied in the scene, even if we were just seeing it from the front. So we're not, but like they forced us to watch, the knife in skin action, and I'm like, I don't
Mhm.
need that.
I don't need
It's
it.
hard. It
No.
hurts me to watch. So I don't want any more of that. You hear, Rafe? Because I know you're watching, Rafe. So
Yeah.
no more of that.
I'm afraid. I'm pretty sure that's I can just see it now, a network exec being like, "We need to see the blood. We need to see it, not just his face. Like, I want to see the blood and the knife, you know?"
It just felt very because like that's not there is a lot of torture in the Wheel of Time, but
Yeah.
it's not a series that revels in violence.
No.
And I this feels very much to me like someone who doesn't know the series. Like I'm not Rafe, like some exec or producer being like, we need some like more Game of Thrones moments. People liked Game of Thrones because it was violent, and that's what we need. But what it does give us is our first shot of some of these puppies.
So this is interesting. The golden eyes like come at will.
This is an interesting question here, Alex. I will say probably safe.
You're
Um,
probably safe.
you're probably safe. I don't know why. I can't immediately think of anything that would come up. But there might be some spoilers, so I can't guarantee that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
we got some of these golden eye holes.
Look at those golden eyes. Yeah, when they like swoosh, because they kind of like swirl in. I I was like, oh, hello. And then I thought they were gonna stay that way, right? Like
Yeah.
I thought that was his transformation, and like now he's pairing golden eyes, but then they went
Yeah.
away again.
I think they're not gonna stay. I think these are gonna be like wolf powers activated eyes, so they don't have to CGI them every time he's on screen.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible to do contacts.
But they're not contact. I agree with you, but these
No, I
aren't
know.
contacts.
These aren't contacts because they showed us the like swoosh
Yeah.
transformation. But I think like when it's not a super close up shot like this, like contacts will be absolutely fine. So I'm hoping because I think his golden eyes and like people looking at him and the way he worries about people looking at him and tries to keep
Yeah.
his eyes downcast is a very like Perrin part of his character. I hope they're just like coming in and out because he hasn't fully realized his wolfy powers, but that they like stay eventually.
Yeah, I hope that too. That would be ideal because I agree. I mean, I like him with golden eyes. So
He's Lord Perrin Golden Eyes, you feel me?
he's Lord
Like,
Baron Golden Eyes. And then he confesses
oh,
to Egwene. It's very sad,
it was
but I'm
sad.
glad he told
I'm
someone.
glad he told someone. He needed to tell
He
someone.
needed to tell someone. It was very nice of
Hmm.
them to un ungag him for this scene for us, but
I know.
I appreciated it. So we could have this
Hmm.
little scene. And then well, I don't have the screenshot that I thought I had. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I really like Egwene being like first of all, Egwene was like a badass in this scene. I really liked it.
Oh, she was so good. And I loved the juxtaposition. I know we're just on the storyline, but I
Yeah.
love the juxtaposition of Nynaeve's speech to Rand about Egwene surviving her fever as a child. And the one thing about Egwene is that she is unbreakable, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, 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 I just got chills. I am unbreakable, Aja. Sorry, hold on. We last week I was the
Alex,
Raging
Alex,
Sun,
Alex,
Aja.
if you're listening, I almost just spoiled something for you and I didn't. For you, Alex.
I
For
almost did
you.
too. Oh my god, I almost did too. And now the whole chat that's read the last 3 books knows exactly what we're thinking. But I almost made that same joke, and I'm glad we didn't. Alex, that's for you, buddy.
That's for you,
Um,
Alex. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. I really loved her in this scene. I thought she felt very Egwene. Like I think it in the books it takes Egwene it takes her well, she's always like got the badass to her, but it takes her a bit of time to grow into like Egwene proper.
mm-hmm.
which is part of the story. But I like that here we're getting that like just this is some like high fermented Egwene action right here. This is some
Absolutely. I also really loved how they showed how she was trying to force it, right? She was trying to muscle it and she was like,
yeah
I'm gonna channel. And it didn't work. And then when she was like, I'm gonna channel
yeah
drift, and she like did this like thing with her body where she was like, did one of these and she like breathed in really deep. I was like, okay. So that was really interesting to me how they like physically showed the difference between her trying to force it channeling, which is in, if you saw the freaking from last week, the origin story about the difference between Saidin and Saidar. I thought that was really
yeah.
interesting.
I thought it was great. I loved her. I first I thought it was funny that she threw her little fireball, but then I loved that it was also a diversion.
Yeah.
While she did
Little
this,
poof.
very clever Egwene. This is also very skilled, doing multiple weaves at once and like at range. This is more than we see her able to do at this point in the books,
It's
but that's
huge.
okay because it's a moment of great need. Um,
I love it.
yeah, I think it's
I
great.
love it.
So she does this, then Perrin goes full beast mode,
Full
and
beastie.
Eamon Valda is like, "What in the light are you?" This is my Eamon Valda voice. What in the light are you? It's
I actually, so I kind of, I kind of like over the top melodramatic, evil Eamon Valda. Like something about it, I don't know. I find it a little bit fun, but mostly annoying, but a little fun. That I was fully perplexed by how he was like full evil, and then all of a sudden he was like,
oh
and his voice went
no.
like,
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
made no sense to
what?
me because Perrin is like, as far as he could tell,
Just
like
really strong.
Perrin was strong enough to break the ropes, and he had like maybe yellow eyes, but and he was growling, I guess. But if I'm Eamon Valda, I'm a white cloak, questioner, commander.
Yeah,
I would stab him with the knife
I'd probably
that I'm
side him,
holding. I
and
wouldn't
I'd
drop the
probably
knife I'm holding.
no, and instead of like, "What in the light?" I'd probably be like, "Fuck!" Like, like, "White clothes, get in here!" Instead of like, "Oh no!" I don't know. Like, it just felt a little weird in that moment. I would have liked maybe for him to be a little like not have enough time to say anything,
It was
then
very
say
strange.
that.
Yeah.
It was a little
Um,
silly.
very weird. Uh, Perrin was growling, but
He
that
was
shouldn't be
growling.
enough to make him drop his knife.
Yeah.
I agree that Valda's actually a coward, but
Yeah.
for sure. But like, I don't know, just stab him.
Well,
I would
and then
just stab him.
cowards usually call for help, right? And they hide behind their bodyguards, of which he
Yeah, but you
has
know what happened to this
dozens.
coward? He got knifed. He got knifed in the old neck there.
In the old shouldy.
I don't think
I don't
he's
think
dead
he's
because
gone.
we
No,
didn't see
not
him
a
dead,
chance.
and this is TV. So if you didn't see him dead, he ain't dead.
That's true.
What did you think of Egwene's just like no doubts stabbing a man right now?
Loved it. Loved it. Didn't bump for a freaking second. I would have done the exact same thing.
I don't know
Yeah,
that I would have. Um,
I would have.
I don't know
100%.
that I mean I don't. I'm not saying she did the wrong thing. I just don't know that I could have done that in that moment.
I think
Nynaeve
Egwene, yeah. No, I
Nynaeve
think
also knifed a guy in episode 4, which I found surprising.
yeah. Yeah. No, I don't.
And then they I loved the scene of the wolves attacking the White Cloak camp because these dogs were just clearly just having a bunch of fun. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't
All
buy
the
that these
dogs are
are
just like
wolves savaging a camp. They're just like dogs running around.
they're running
Um,
around like to their trainer that's right around the
yeah,
corner with treats, which I love. Like that's our only option, right? You cannot train a wolf. You can only train a dog that kind of looks
yeah,
like a wolf.
but they're
So
pretty
like
small.
this is
Like
what
these
we
are
get.
small dogs
Yeah,
relative
I
to like
mean,
a wolf.
that's a freaking like husky. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm not mad at it. I love it. The whole reason that we never saw Ghost, which was very annoying, was because he was too expensive to CGI in every episode in Game of Thrones. So we saw him for like 2 episodes for like 10 seconds. I'd rather have a bunch of dogs than like no wolves.
Oh, he is alive, confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I'd rather have a bunch of dogs than a bunch of like shitty CGI wolves.
Hmm.
But yeah. I mean, I thought it was fine. I was just like laughing while I was watching it. They're like, what else are
Yeah.
they gonna do?
Yeah.
Um,
This shot in particular, when he runs past them, he looks like he's having a great time. He's a
he's having a
woof.
good time.
Yeah, in my family, we don't say wolf, we say woof.
He's
He's a
just a wuss.
woof.
He's a
Yeah.
wuss.
He's a
Uh,
woof.
yeah, they were very funny.
But that discussion about wolves it's gonna come back up again when we talk about a certain son of Errant.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that discussion soon.
That
Um,
same idea.
so that's kind of the end of the Perrin and Egwene plotline.
They
And
run away.
we saw that the Tuatha were like right outside Tarvalon, right?
Yes, we did.
It's wild to me that there's such a big White Cloak camp here at this point in the story. But hey, whatever. They had to get
Um,
captured by White Cloaks at some point.
yeah. That doesn't bump for me anymore because their threat and their aggression has been, powered up. Then I think their audaciousness is probably also powered
Yeah.
up.
As Ash points out, like, yeah, willing to accept the inherent silliness of the dogs. It's not the dog's fault. I will shit on a human all day fucking long, but a dog
Yeah.
is just a good little boy.
It's a good wolf boy. It's a good wolf. Look at that wolf.
Yeah.
Scary. Run. Go bite him. I loved when that one the white cloak comes up and he's like, wait, what are you doing? And the wolf comes like, and he's like, and there's very much some like unintentional comedy of being like,
Yeah,
no,
it's very funny.
no, ah!
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
honestly, I loved it. Well,
It was
because I was
great.
just like so happy that these bad guys are dying. That I don't, but like
I don't care
because
how.
it was silly, it just made it even more fun. I was like, yeah, get them,
Yeah.
Loved it.
Caitlin is asking about the conversation between Nynaeve and Rand, but we'll get back to it on that plot line,
Yes,
Caitlin.
yes.
But let's do now. I think I have the Aes Sedai plot line next. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So cut to Mr. Lugain. Um, I'll be honest, it bothers me that he has dragons on his coat.
Why?
Um,
Oh,
just
I
because,
know why. But tell
just
me why.
yeah, just because they didn't
They
know
don't know
about
what
the
a dragon
symbol.
is.
They didn't know about the symbol until Lews Theron's banner was found in the Eye of the World. And is that an important detail? Not particularly. Could the
No,
imagery of the dragon have survived the breaking of the world? 100%.
definitely.
Does it still bother me? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Me too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. But gosh, he's so good, this actor.
Oh,
Just the
he's
way he
great.
just like lifelessly bounces along on that horse is so sad.
I like that he doesn't have a cage here because he melts his cage. He does immediately get a cage, but I assume they got him a new one at the
New
Tarvalon
cage.
gates.
Yeah. But also I like it because he doesn't need it now. Like what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
He's been gentled. He looks like he's gonna if he doesn't eat, he'd starve, like as they
Yeah.
say in the books, they have to make sure he eats and like walks around and gets sunshine. Otherwise he'll like sit and rot.
I was kind of hoping we would see some of that like sad Logain wandering around the tower. Maybe next episode we will.
I'd love that. I would
Yeah.
love that. But then again, we might not see it until later events, when the tower falls, because that's when we see him again.
That's a good catch, Articus. I didn't see that, but it makes sense because he's
Yeah.
reading the Koreathon cycle.
Yeah. There's
But
a dragon in the Crayathon cycle
I
book.
just I it's like a weird little detail of the book series, but I just love that no one knows what a
I love
dragon
that
is.
detail too. They were like, it's this like snake thing with a
It's like a
mane,
snake with
but
feet.
it has legs with 5 claws, but it looks
Yeah.
like it's flying, but there are no wings.
And I like Egwene, like when Egwene has dreams of Rand eventually getting the dragon tattoos at
Uh-huh.
Rhuidean. In the Dragon Reborn, she keeps describing these drawings. It's like these weird little creatures keep settling
Weird.
into his
I
arms.
think she
It's like,
calls them like flying lizards or like
yeah,
lizard creatures, which is
I
very
like it.
funny. Yeah, I
Um,
love that.
but it doesn't matter. Fine. Okay. So we got Logain. Okay. They get to the White Tower, and I'd rather talk about the Logain being paraded through Tarvalon when we get to Rand and Matt, because
Yeah,
I
me
think it's
too.
more relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
They get to the tower, and then we get some scenes with Steppen and his boys Yvonne and Maxime and Lan, getting him all dressed in white. We find
Mhm.
out that every warder has a sad childhood, it turns out, which makes sense. Like, why
It
would you
kinda makes
become a
sense.
warder? You
Why else
know?
would you, dedicate your whole life to, like, violence and probably dying and, like,
Yeah.
leave from a young age to go to this, like, super violent boot camp unless your family hated
Yeah,
you.
unless your family
It's
hates you.
it's the same reason you'd go to boot camp now is if your family fucking hates you
Yeah.
because they suck.
Um, Ivan or Yvonne is like, or Maxim, I don't know which one of those is which. The
Maxim is the blonde one, Ivan
Okay.
is the black one.
So Maxim is like, "Yeah, my dad threatened to kill me when I was 12," which I assume was a gay thing, but hey, we don't know. Not explicit.
Oh, that might have
Um,
been, I don't know.
just when I hear queers talk about their parents wanting to kill them when they were uh, entering puberty, I assume it's a gay thing. But I could be
I
wrong.
think it's fair. That's a
Um,
pretty fair assumption.
then we get the what I thought was actually a cool ceremony. Like, we don't know basically anything about warder culture, but I liked
Mm-mm.
this little ceremony they made up, and I fucking love like this shot.
Are you
This,
kidding me? I was breathless at this point. I literally
yeah,
went, wow.
I
The fact
really
that
want
it's
to.
open to the wind and you hear the like,
It's incredible. Yeah, I thought he was gonna melt the ring and then straight up just jump off.
yeah,
I thought he was gone.
yeah. I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Wheel Chazille. Lan has a very happy
Oh
childhood. Yeah,
yeah.
so happy. Um,
Toe.
Yeah, you get
Give
toe.
that man some
I think it's
toe.
sarcasm, so, uh,
I say he
yeah.
gets toe regardless.
Alright, just because it's a wheel, I'm sure you do deserve it. I haven't been following the chat close enough to be able to see. You don't think homosexuality is looked down on in WOT at all? That doesn't mean there aren't still some homophobic parents out in wherever Maxim is from. Pobody's nerfed. Uh,
Yeah. I wouldn't
I
be
don't know.
surprised if certain cultures weren't as progressive as the ones we've seen. Like we already know the Kyrianen are real prudes, and
Yeah,
the Tyran are very misogynistic, and
and, like, just because, like, the warders are super accepting doesn't mean everyone in every backwater town is. Like, the warders are also super accepting of the polyamory, but Nynaeve, being from the Two Rivers, is caught off guard by it. So, I mean, I agree. I think the implication is in most of the world, almost like gays are pretty accepted. Um, but I don't know where he's from, and that's just how it read to me watching it, like,
mm,
given the context of the real world.
yeah,
But yeah, I love the architecture. I really, really want to see a breakdown of all these white tower scenes and know what is real and what is CGI.
yeah, that'd be nice.
But these floor patterns are crazy. I love the curvy rocks. Like, I'm like torn on the architecture of Tarvalon. Half absolutely love it. I like love everything about the white tower. But
Hmm.
the other half, I'm like, I thought it was a little grungier than I wanted it to be because they always describe the gleaming white walls of Tarvalon, and they certainly were not
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It was white, but it was more like a realistic white. And I
yeah,
think it's okay to push reality a little bit when it's like the famously magical city Ogier built,
yeah,
But I don't know.
yep.
Yeah, Jan has a good comment up there. I love that the show takes warders from a book side note to like a real living group with their own culture and traditions. That
Yeah, I
is, I
agree.
totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, and I really loved this tradition in particular, this cool, like, ring of molten metal that they dip these rings into.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was dope. I This doesn't exist, but I thought it was cool, and I like the idea of, like, the eternity of it and the
Mm-hmm.
symbolism of, like, if this fire has been kept going for thousands of years, and this is, like,
Then she returns to her
millennia.
sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like millennia of Aes Sedai rings that are continued to be kept alive through this ritual. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
very cool.
Yeah. It'd be especially cool if maybe in the future we'll see a shot of like new rings being forged from the
Yeah,
same metal. That would be cool. But who
yeah,
knows if we'll see that. I think that would be a sick touch.
I think it'd be cool. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Um, Then we get some scenes with Maureen and Lan. I just included the screenshot because I really liked I really liked
It's
her room.
so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm surprised by the lack of rugs. Just me? I feel like it'd be cold.
I think that is a Moraine specific thing.
Got it. That
I
makes
think
sense. It's more
yeah.
clean.
I think it's implied when Alana later is like, "You've been gone for so long, you keep your
Mhm.
room, like, pretty bare."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I think it's
So
cool.
pretty. We have to talk about that little painting in the
I have it.
vestibule.
I have it screenshotted. We will get there later, I think.
Okay.
Then we have the whole, like, step in, um, Wheel Chazil insists on referring to it as Stepuku.
Stipuku.
Very sad.
Oh, it's
Um,
very sad, but also funny.
it is funny.
I
I thought
love these.
I thought it was very interesting that at first he did his little ceremony to the Forsaken. I thought it was super cool.
I loved this little sage banishing evil from the Forsaken. I feel like
Yeah.
we can like tell who is who
Oh, yeah, in fact, I'm pretty sure we can. So, we know this is a Shamael on the
on the
left.
left,
This is
which is
Lanfear.
funny because he looks like a tiger.
I think it's supposed to be I think that's flame is the implication there.
Flame.
I think that's
Okay.
an eyes and mouth of fire.
Okay, that makes sense. And
And
then that
then
looks like Lanfear to
that's
me.
Lanfear, and this is Asmodean. He's got his guitar.
Uh-huh. I see it. I totally
Yeah.
see it. Oh my gosh. I'm
Then
so
we've
glad you got
got
these close-ups.
I think this is Demandred, and then we have Grendel, obviously.
Grendel with dem titties, baby. As soon as I saw them titties, I was like, "What's up, Grendel? Hey, honey.
And
So
I
glad
think
to see you."
this is either Cimaraj or Masana. I think it's
That
Cimaraj
looks
just
like
because she's way
Semiraj to
better than
me.
Masana as a character.
That looks
There's
like
only 8
Semiraj to me.
Forsaken represented here. So,
So
I'm
either one
I'm
wasn't
assuming
shown or
there are 8 in the
one.
show, but,
Yeah.
then
Oh.
I really wanted this to be Agenor because I think Agenor
Oh
is very
no, that's
interesting.
Samael.
I know it is because he's short and has a beard, but
Mhm.
like, why pick Samael over Agenor? Why do that? Samael, his whole thing is he's short and has a beard, whereas Agenor is like, "I'm a magical mad scientist, genetic
That's true.
engineer wizard."
And Samael's other thing is that he's like always hated Lews Therin because he always comes in second, but that's also Moradin's
It's
thing.
also
So
Demandred's
like it's
thing.
also Demandred's thing. So like I think you're right. I think it's maybe Samael
No,
will
it
also
it
be Agenor
I have been convinced that it is Samael. I hope they make him also Agenor. That would be cool.
because
I
I would
mean,
love to have that mad scientist, who invented the Trollocs. That's such like a
yeah.
cool, terrifying thing.
And I know, like,
Um,
from talking to my mom who does not like fantasy, but has been able to get into the Wheel of Time via, like, the sci-fi-ishness of it, and she's like,
mhm,
"Yeah, I hated the Trollocs when I thought it's like, there's just these weird monsters that exist for no reason, but when
mhm.
you told me someone made them, then I was like, 'Oh, I can get behind that.'"
Yeah,
So,
well, because she likes logic and things that make sense, and luckily,
yeah.
like, this is a hard magic world where everything does make sense mostly. Um,
Samael's not a big, strong beard boy. Samael is a sad, sad little beard boy. And this is, Moghedien. She's got the spiderweb
Gotta be.
pattern on her
Where?
thorax.
Oh, there it is, I see it. I mean, I knew it was Moghedien mostly because of the bangs.
Yeah.
As a girl with bangs, I love a girl with bangs, and Moghedien, she's got bangs, like, I just feel it in my heart, she has bangs.
But I really liked that addition of that ceremony. I thought it was a
Loved
cool
it.
way to sneak in an Easter egg for us, the
Super cool.
readers. And I
Wait,
will note, like,
who's the one by Grendel? Who's that?
I think it's Demandred.
Why?
I think it's Demandred just because
He's got
it's
a weird, like,
either
head thing going on with all
it's like
these,
a
like
pharaoh, like, sarcophagus looking thing. I think it's
oh, I see
Demandred
it.
because it looks kinda like a, battle helmet to me, and Demandred is, like, the general. And, um,
Oh.
also, I think it's Demandred because why would they cut Demandred in favor of Belal or Ravin or any of
Oh,
those guys?
definitely. Yeah, that makes sense. Couldn't it be a
Um,
lady? Four dudes, four ladies?
It is 4 dudes, 4 ladies.
Okay. It looks like luscious lips, and so I thought lady, but I guess not.
Here he is in closer up.
To me,
I
that
think
looks lady,
he's got
but
a
I think
beard.
I'm wrong.
He's got a little,
Oh, you're right.
a little
He's got
beard.
a little goatee there.
Yeah, I think it's Demandred just because that's
Yeah.
pure not based on anything here. Okay, if I wanted to get really nerdy about it, his helmet reminds me of boar tusk helmets, the way boar tusk helmets from the Mycenaean age are depicted
Uh, uh-huh.
in Grecian art.
Uh-huh.
So they might have been going for something like that.
Uh-huh.
Or it also kind of feels like a Japanese like a helmet, samurai helmet, but without the thing on top. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
Cool.
We def need Robin. No, Robin sucks. Robin's
No,
just a
I hate
creepy fucking
Robin.
rapist, and I hate him.
I hate Robin. I hate what he does to Morgaze, and also I think we need to cut Morgaze from the show completely. So
Yeah, I mean,
cut Robin
also
and
just
Morgaze.
just because Steppen only has 8 figurines doesn't mean that there aren't 13 Forsaken.
That's a good point.
But I really think Robin is like I don't know. He's too
I think,
creepy,
yeah.
and I think Grendel does creepy sexual compulsion better in a way that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't just feel like rape as
Yeah.
much. Like it's very much still rape,
It is rape.
but it's just a different power dynamic.
Yeah. Um, I think you're right that it's just far too clean to have 8, 4 ladies, 4 dudes, Forsaken. You feel me? 4 ladies, 4 dudes, Forsaken.
And they got 8
Oh no.
seasons, so they can kinda do,
8
like, 1
seasons.
Forsaken per season. So if this is our Ishamael season I don't think they're gonna do that, but, that's a
Well,
thing
it
they could
can't be,
do.
yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, they
no,
can't do that because they
yeah,
interact.
yeah, yeah. But it feels nice. I wouldn't be
Okay,
surprised if you would be right about all
you're
that.
right. The only reason to keep Ravine is so Rand can yell, "Ravine!"
Robin!
But that's it.
Love
That's
it.
the only good reason to have him. Yeah, cut
Love
Ravine
it.
and Morghese.
Cut it.
He's just boring.
Cut it. Got
I
it.
like the fight. I like the fight in Camelin.
Oh,
With
so
Ra
good.
but you could do that with Samael. Like, Samael and Ravin can be squished together easy peasy. They
Mhm.
don't need to be 2 separate characters.
No.
But yeah, agreed.
And
I
I
mean,
always
you're
forget who
right.
Masana is, so get her out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, I was, like, looking at the list, I was like, "Masana?"
I don't even remember
I
her thing.
always
She's
forget
supposed to be
about
like
her.
the like Forsaken of the Darkness, right? But then I'm like,
Yeah.
but that feels like Moghedian, and Moghedian's so much
Is she the
more
one,
interesting.
Nynaeve? I can never remember what she
I
does.
literally don't remember
Is
Masana.
she the one Nynaeve does Nynaeve break her block when she's fighting Masana? Someone in the
Don't remember.
chat, let us know. We're being total hacks up here, not remembering. Honestly, I don't care at all about the Forsaken outside of like Asmodean. I
Love.
love Lanfear's cool.
Lanfear's great.
Grindal's fun,
Ah, so
and
fun. Semiraj is the scariest bitch of
Ishamael
all
is a campy
time.
queen, and
Love.
Simraj is scary as fuck. And I don't need
Mhm.
any other Forsaken outside of that.
Yeah. The rest of them can be squished together into one,
Oh,
and I don't care.
Masana's the one in the tower.
Right.
Thank you.
Toy
That's
the
right.
toy toy.
Now
Thank
I knew
you.
Moghedian was Nynaeve's nemesis, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. I was just like trying to come up with something important for Masana to have
Mhm.
done, and it's nothing. Um,
It's
she
nothing.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah, she's the one in the tower controlling all of Yaren. Okay. Yeah,
Boring.
so
Bored.
cut that. Cut that. Cut. We don't need her. Um, speaking of people in the tower, this is from Leandrin's talking to Nynaeve, and I love her like just trying very hard to be nice and so bad at it. Um, the persimmons are the persimmons are in
Mm.
season, or
The
however she
persimmons.
the
Mm.
persimmons.
And then she goes, the persimmons. Mm. And I was like,
It's
it
so
felt
funny.
it felt very much like Alien wearing a skin suit,
Yeah.
like interacting with Earthlings.
I fucking wish we could play real clips and not get dropped by YouTube
Mm.
because I
I
fucking
loved
loved
that
that line so
so
much.
much. Oh, the persimmons are in season.
Mhm.
Mm.
She's so funny. I love this actress. She's doing a great job.
I know, she's
Um,
so good. And but
yeah,
then the way her eyes turns her eyes went like ice cold when she was
yeah.
like, and in some places in the world, like men don't like little girls who have power.
Oh, yeah, she's so good.
Oh, it was like, ooh, I got goosies just
Yeah.
thinking, look at my goosies, right?
Mr. F
So
loves how
good.
Leandrin is just taking L after L after L in these conversations.
I know.
Oh, yeah. And then she
Yeah.
talks to
Moiraine touches her
I mean, these
face.
two are exes for sure.
They are.
Yeah. Um,
We know that, right? You know that?
Moirandrin. Yeah, I do
That's
know that.
that's like
Yeah, it's pretty
canon.
much canon.
It is on the Amazon website. That's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the things I
It's not
saw.
book canon, but it
Show
is
canon,
plot
yeah.
description show canon. Yeah.
Which is
I
crazy to me, but
and
whatever.
Articus and Ash bring up the point I wanted to get to next, which is yeah, I think Leandrin and Lyda are being merged
I absolutely think that.
for sure. And I think we predicted that on our channel a while ago.
We did.
Uh,
Oh, months and months and months ago.
yeah.
But however, yeah, I don't I really trust him. I really, really do, especially after all of the great changes and we've seen things pay off. Like I really trust him. I do, but this one, because
Now
I
hear me out.
love. Okay, talk to me.
Hear me out, Mary Lou. What if they do the merge, but Leandrin's not a dark friend?
Then I'm interested. Then I'm
Yeah.
interested. I am actually very interested in that.
Yeah.
And we can have some other Aes Sedai be a dark friend. That would be interesting to me because honestly, dark friend Leandrin,
Anyone can take the
um,
girl's fall. I mean, book Leandrin sucks. This
we
Leandrin's
we
way
have
more
n-
interesting.
we have no guarantee they're going to Falm. By the way,
Yeah, yeah.
it is my
I
gut instinct they are smushing Falm and the Stone of Tyr.
I think they
Uh,
will as well.
mhm.
That's my guess.
That's my gut. I don't think we're going to Falm, but the
Yeah,
girls will get there somehow. They'll figure it out.
this is a good question, Jason. Why not just have this character be Elida?
I don't know.
Because she doesn't do anything Leandrin does. And
And there are already a lot of E names.
yeah, I think
Sometimes
it
it can be
is
that stupid.
if she is being merged into Elida, if Leandrin goes the Amerlin seat arc, which seemed pretty clear from this episode that that's what they're setting up,
Me too.
then she can't be a dark friend.
No.
Like we need that character not to be a dark friend. I think it's
It's
vital.
so
That's not
much more compelling to
it's just way
watch
more
her
interesting. Yeah.
dissent when she believes she's right, and
Yeah.
she believes she's doing the right thing. So at first you see her being like, no, this is what's best. And then you see her descent into madness and self-absorption and self-grandeur of like, it's right because I say it's right. Right.
Yeah. Alan, I will only be sad if it turns out Leandrin is still a dark friend.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would choose Leandrin over Elida, other than I guess like it gives them a bit more space to flex as writers because she won't be as locked in to the expectations we have. And honestly, it might just be to fuck with book readers who are watching the show and are like, I know
Yeah.
that's a dark friend, and like she's not a dark friend.
Yeah.
um, a fun little
That might be
reversal
it.
there.
That might be it. Or maybe we'll see her like renounce it or something. Or I don't know. I don't like that. No, I take it back. We do need antagonists who
Yeah,
aren't dark
I
friends.
think.
And
Yep. I think it's yeah. I think she's just a Lida basically.
I
She's
think
just a
so.
Lida, but I think Leandrin
Spicier.
because Leandrin doesn't do very much. Like she serves important points for the plot. She's like a plot vehicle,
No,
but
yeah. Book Leandrin kind of sucks. She's
she's
stupid. She's
boring. She's dumb.
ineffective. She's cruel. She's just
I
like kind of a bitch.
I like that this choice, if it's what they're doing. This is very tentative because if she's a dark friend and the Emerald Seed, I revoke everything I'm saying.
True.
But
Same. I don't like that.
I like that it gives them room to flex with her relationship with Moraine to develop that. I like that it allows them to explore her personality a little bit better. Like I really love the way they've characterized her so
Yeah.
far.
Show Leandrin is very interesting.
Yeah, because like Elida is a very different character from what we're seeing here,
Mm-hmm.
but you can still see that Leandrin is like bad in
Yeah.
many ways, but also just kind of awkward and weird. Um, and like she does seem genuinely like to have feelings for Moraine. Like she doesn't feel like a total like
Okay.
sociopath to me. Um,
Yeah, yeah, she doesn't seem like I'm not joking. I think the book Leandrin is like a bitch. She's
oh,
like
she sucks.
bitchy and
Yeah,
awful. And this Leandrin is not a bitch. She's bad, but she's not bitchy, which is annoying
yeah,
to watch, right?
yeah.
I'm interested in watching this Leandrin. So if she's different from book Leandrin, great, because I didn't love book Leandrin.
And it was interesting watching her because people are like, "Oh, Leandrin dropped the shield." I didn't see that. To be fair, I haven't gone like frame by frame and looked for it, but I didn't pick that up when I watched that episode, and I watched it a few times. Um, and then we see like the scene where Maureen is like, "You're going to burn yourself out." She's like, "I don't care. Fuck this guy." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It could be interesting. Leandrin's not a dark friend. That's our hot theory.
Hot theory. Leandrin's not a dark friend. She's just Elida.
And she does have the hots for Moraine and touches her face. And Moraine
Touches her face.
is doesn't seem like opposed to it, but kind of shuts that shit down later.
She seems like ice cold.
You think so? I thought
To
she thought it was
me.
like funny. Oh, she's like ice cold to Leandrin.
Yeah, that's what I
But
mean.
yeah, yeah. But there's some relics of feelings here.
I
I
was
think.
finding my you know what I was finding myself thinking about in this scene? I was thinking about the 3 oaths because both of them are lying and neither of them can lie, right? So they're
Yeah.
both saying things that are the truth that you think you hear, right? Because Leandrin goes, "Where is Nynaeve? I assume she's locked away," right? Which is
Yeah.
not she knows she's not, but I assume she's been locked away, which
Yeah.
is true, right? And then Moiraine says, "I expect she's resting after her long journey," right?
50% of you
50-50.
can get the fuck out of my stream. Just kidding. Don't leave. I love you.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Um,
um,
Rahef. Oh, we got to get to that conversation. The Alana Moiraine
oh, it's
conversation.
Swan. It's
It's
definitely Swan.
Swan.
Yeah.
It's
And
Swan.
they hinted that at episode 4 where Stephen is
Yeah,
talking to Lan and he's like, you know,
the
the
Emerald's
Amelin is
pissed.
the Amelin's pissed at Moraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that drama and that tension. Obviously, we know they're not enemies, but TV watchers won't know that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a fun twist.
It'll be a fun little thing. And
Mhm.
that's like true when you read the books. Like we don't know that she's working with the Emerlin until we see them talk in the Great Hunt.
Yeah,
So I like it. Oh
I
yeah,
like it.
Swan is out for blood.
She's out for blood. You have two powerful enemies, and both of them are fucking whipped from Warren,
Okay,
which I love.
when you think about it, which I haven't considered this facet of Aes Sedai society before, but given the strict power hierarchy, how could you date someone who was significantly weaker than you or more powerful than you? It makes sense that like these 3 women who are like the
The
strong
three
channelers
strongest,
would be
yeah,
dating each other because otherwise you're going to be dating someone who's like has to defer to you like
yeah.
by
That'd be weird.
tradition or you have to defer to them. So
Have we seen a confirmation
they
that that's
haven't
something they're
dropped
doing?
these teasers. That was a leak. Get
That
out of
was a
here with
leak,
your leaks.
not a teaser. That was a leak. So TV watchers do not know. Only we know that because all we do is sleuth and all we do is talk about Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
But
and I yes. It won't surprise a lot of viewers. I disagree. I think a lot of viewers are not looking at leaks. It won't surprise anyone who's read the books because we know. So I don't care that I'm telling y'all that that leak exists.
oh
But like
yeah.
non-readers, I think they'll be surprised.
Oh yeah, totally.
What
I think
non-reader is looking at leaks?
we agree on that point, right? You said disagree, but you didn't mean with me.
No, no, no. I disagree with Varka.
Ah, I think it's gonna surprise most viewers, and only
Yeah.
book readers will it not surprise.
Marissa says it could be a hot dynamic. That's fair. Some people are into that. Very sea folk marriage.
Sexy.
Maybe the Aes
Um,
Sedai just have sea folk marriage traditions. It could work.
it's possible.
Okay, Mary Lou, you
I
wanted to
love
talk about
this.
this.
This is a true mystery. Well, I wanted to talk about this because this is one of the only true mysteries that we've seen.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's going on? My
Like,
instinct
I
is it
can't
is
I
Carrie
literally
Inman.
it's gotta be Kyrie in. It's probably a portrait of her that, like, her parents made or something, I guess, I don't know. I can't think of any other true mystery in the show that I've looked at and been like, "I have no idea."
I wonder if it's her mother.
Or it could be her mother,
I know what I'm
right?
thinking.
Because
Like,
she has that story. When she talks to Nynaeve and she says, I know what you're feeling. You're thinking, what is my place in the world? Can I ever go back to who I thought I was with, how I related to the people I loved? And she says, no, you can never go back.
Vidya, this is not spoiler free.
Definitely not spoiler free. This is spoiler full,
This is spoiler.
unfortunately.
This is spoiler. Very
Spoilerific,
extensive.
chock
What's the
full of
opposite of free?
spoiler rich. This is spoiler rich.
Spoiler. Extremely pricey in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spoiler
it's
costly.
it is a mystery, and it feels, first of all, very vaginal, which I like. It's
Incredibly
like
vaginal,
it's an incredibly
incredibly
lesbian.
sacred. It's sacred. This looks like a
Oh yeah,
sacred, like how you would hide your freaking, what are those things, like saints' toenails?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Relics.
know, relics, like a reliquary.
Yeah, for sure. This is a reliquary. It looks
That, like,
like.
nobody can look at this except for Moiraine in private, you know?
It's interesting because she seemed like worried when she went to open it. So I was like, "Ooh, is something in there that she's worried someone came and took?"
Yeah.
But it's like this painting. Um, I based on very little evidence, and by little I mean only what you're looking at right here, I think it's her mom.
That's fascinating to me. I'm putting my art history hat on for a second. May I?
Please.
Okay, I was an art history major at Princeton, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just kidding. I don't remember anything. But anyway, so what I love about this is because it's a door into an arch, into a room, into a window that has another curtain. So it's
Yeah.
like it's got like 7
And it's
planes of depth.
inside a door.
Well, I talked about the door first.
A door into an
Um,
arch, into an arch, into a window. You're right. Okay, you said it.
and then that window like has curtains on the outside, and then I finally see the landscape. So that's really fascinating. And also we're looking at her back. So we're
Yeah.
looking at the back of this person, Casper David Friedrich, very much so. That like puts us in the shoes of this person, right?
Yeah.
In
And we're also
we
looking at Maureen's back, who's also wearing similar blue and in a
it's
similar
blue,
pose.
the buttons down the back, the brown hair. Um
Mary Lou is
Humble
nothing if
Prince.
not humble
I'm
about her
super
parenting
humble,
job.
and I'm more humble than you. Um, to me, this looks like a young girl. I get young girl vibes from this.
Yeah, it could be a young Maureen. The reason I think her mom is just like, so I see the symbol on the top. It looks like a sun. It could also be a flower, but it feels like Sun Palace to me. This
Sun.
feels like carrying in royalty. And like, why would it be important for her to look at a picture of her younger self? To me, it feels more like if you've been away from home for 2 years and you don't have an iPhone, and this is your only picture of your mom, and your mom might be dead because you're in Ice to Die, and we don't know
Mhm,
how old Moraine is in the show.
mhm.
I don't know. It just
I
feels like.
would I would look at it if it was a picture of me that like my mom commissioned of me, you know? And this also the way she's standing like off to the side, her body's angled one way while her head is looking another. And then we
Yeah,
see this arch. We're looking into this arch that's mirrored on another corner. Makes me feel like she's like listening around a corner, which makes me think of like when Moiraine was eavesdropping as a child when she first developed her spark.
yeah,
So there's just like so much in it. It's such a mystery, and I just want to like dive in and rip it to shreds and eat it and make it into a soup and like swallow it and
yeah.
digest it.
Varka, I had the same thought when I was first looking at it, that it feels referential to the Archway Terangrial, because this is how I'd always imagined them,
Mm,
as these kinds of arches. But we'll see when we get to those scenes how the show depicts them.
that's so funny because I always pictured them as like McDonald's arches.
And I think like that is maybe more in line with how they're actually described. But I
Huh.
always saw them as like kind of freestanding stone doorways.
Doorways. Well, I think that's gorgeous. I just love how she's like standing at this window but looking around a corner.
You thought it was a mirror, mother. This is my mother in the chat. Hello,
Hello,
mother.
mother.
Um, at first glance, I thought it was a mirror, but it is a painting.
It is a painting indeed, and it's a strange painting. Like, you guys, I cannot emphasize for you that like enough that like I know we're getting vaguely like medieval or slash
Yeah.
smushed in with Renaissance vibes. This painting could not be farther from medieval or Renaissance vibes.
Oh,
Like
yeah. No, no,
nothing
no.
like this was ever happening in that era. This is like Germany in the like late
Well,
1800s.
it feels
Like it's
yeah.
gorgeous. It's very like psychologically deep and meaningful. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It's a
Yeah.
true mystery for me. True mystery.
Mom is okay with spoilers, so don't worry about that. Yeah, it's interesting, and I hope something is explained about it. There's also the potential that this is itself a ter'angreal and maybe always shows something different, and it's something she needs to meditate on. I don't know, just spitballing here.
Ooh, that would be exciting if every time she opens it, it's something different. What are my kitties
Yeah,
doing back there?
yeesh.
Being weird.
But let's move on. Then we
Oh,
get this scene, the Wolf of Wall Street scene. That it's an interesting ceremony. I was not expecting the like Tibetan throat singing, but I don't mind it.
no. I was thinking in the moment, I was like, what a weird smashing together of different cultures. And then I thought about it and I was like, well, doy, the wardens come from all different cultures. So,
Yeah,
like, if you were a bunch of guys from a bunch of different places of all over the world, and one guy was like, when we do funerals, I do my Tibetan throat singing. So somebody's like, well, yeah, go ahead, I guess. And then another guy's like, well, where I come from, we do the Wolf of Wall Street hand
yeah,
thing. And everybody's like, all right, yeah, we'll do that, you know? So it's like, that makes sense to me that this would be a
and
huge
yeah,
mishmash of cultural
it's
influences.
also way in the future. And where I come from, we appoint one person to scream away all of our grief.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I guess that's what we do here from here. Mhm.
Well, okay, I'll admit Forging Strength. My first thought was also Mongolian throat singing because I also like the Who, but it could be either one. Um, Marissa is happy we've done away with stony faced Lan, who a slight widening of the eyes is as much as being agape for any other man.
Mhm. Well, that's just
And I'm
not as interesting to watch.
it's
Like,
boring to watch.
it's boring to watch. That's when people complain about what they think they want. I'm like, if you actually got that, you would hate it. It would be very boring. This land rocks. He's
Yeah, this land is
mostly
dope.
stoic, but also funny and also thoughtful and sweet with
Yes.
Moiraine. And this is crazy.
And the Third Age, The Wolf of Wall Street is an epic tale. That's true. Yes, it is. The Wolf of Wall Street is one of Perrin's favorite tales.
Yeah. With the hero, Leonard DiCaprio.
Leonard DiCaprio.
Hmm. You
Yes.
know, the tales of Leonard and the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, this and Ash says this still maintains some of his stoicness because it's a formal grieving environment and it's his duty to scream
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, the way his like face was like trembling when he was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it felt so good. Like, not good.
Yeah.
It felt bad.
And I
You know
liked
what I mean?
Nynaeve being sad because Lan was sad, and she also, had been worried about Stepan, who she'd been traveling with for the past month. It was an interesting scene. I like getting these little warder rituals.
Wearing the
Mhm.
white. That's very
Yes,
interesting to me.
indeed. Um,
Come here, fat boy.
yeah.
Here's
I
fat boy,
also can't
everyone.
wait for Tom to recite "The Wolf of Wall Street" in high chant. It's great. A
Yeah.
Celtic death whale. Well, that's a new concept to me, but I believe it. All the awards to
Hmm.
Daniel Henney. Daniel Henney can have anything he wants. That's how I feel.
Anything. Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh,
now,
how much did you love these like old tongue signposts?
yeah, I transcribed them
You
actually.
did, you big old nerd. I love it. What's it say?
Okay, it says I'll put this in the chat. This was my take, and I don't know that it's right. Or let me just share screen of my tweet, I guess. It says nothing that I could make any sense of. The first line
Oh.
is like Brian Nubeko S. Joe Allen Uarwa Jua. It's like all parts of weird. Someone has
Oh,
suggested the Brim might be Brim Woods. I mean, I think it's definitely like a signpost. It's just calling
totally.
out like distances to various locations.
Yeah, Vigia, I also thought these were portal stones at first, and I was like, wow, they just like walk past portal stones and don't even notice. And then we saw the second one with because the first one we see with the Aes Sedai, and then the second one we see with Rand and Matt, and I was like, oh, these are just literally just like
These are just
these are
directions. These
just
are just
signposts.
milestones.
Literally just like
But they're old. Like I think some of these towns don't exist anymore.
probably. They do look pretty like
Um,
ancient. Yeah.
yeah, my first thought was also portal stones, and I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. The portal stones
Hmm.
are really small. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh no, this is just old tongue. Portal
Yeah.
stones predate the old tongue, so obviously it can't be that. I like his cloak. I like his green cloak. I want one.
Love his green cloak.
Okay, we get this shot of Tar Valon, Vagina Island itself. Here's the
Love
North
it.
Harbor, aka the clitoris for those in the know.
Mhm. Love
Uh,
the mountains smoking in the background. Oh, I also loved the shot at night, how you can see the
yeah,
lava glowing on the tip. That
yeah,
was like at the summit. I was like, nice. Nice. Yeah,
it
I
was
loved it.
cool. I like the island. I like the bridges. I'll be honest, the land surrounding Tar Valon is way more forested than I ever imagined it. I always imagined it as like more rolling grasslands this close to town, but I have no
Hmm.
reason to. I'm not saying they're wrong. That's just what was in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and the tower, I think, is a little chody for my taste.
It's a little chody, especially with the two like
Yeah,
flanking domes. Like,
it's ex-
shouldn't we have seen this coming, you guys?
it's an extremely phallic tower for the White Tower on Vagina Island, and I would have been happier with one soaring and possibly tall and thin tower myself. But
Um,
now we have this
I
little chode.
I would have been happy, very happy actually, with this tower, just without the domes.
Yeah, get rid of the domes on either side. We don't need them.
I
Um,
don't need the domes.
we don't need we don't need the scrums.
The
It's
scrums. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't need
Anyway,
I
it
don't
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
anyway.
Generally, the interiors of the White House.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex. Yeah. It,
Alex, how did you not see
how
it?
did you not see it?
It
All
looks
right.
like a tiny peen.
It's we're making a new poll. Um,
Did you think the tower looked like a peen when you first saw it?
yeah. How do I make this poll?
Because the poll can't be does the tower look like a peen because it does. Like that's not
Right. It's just
negotiable. So
did
it's
you
like
know?
was it
Did
in
you
as instant for
see
you?
the White Tower pin before we pointed it out? Maybe it's us. Maybe we're the
Maybe it's
problem.
us. Maybe it's am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama.
I don't think we're the drama.
I don't think we're the drama.
The poll is live in YouTube, so go
Okay.
vote and tell
Let
us.
us know. Let us know if it's our fault. Did we do that? Are we
It's
the
probably our
drama?
fault. You think it's a clitoris forging strength? Yeah, maybe.
But then it's in the
Except for the
south.
testicles.
Yeah, and also yeah. It has
Anyway,
testicles.
the secondary structures are canon though. I don't give a fuck, Ash.
I super don't give a shit.
The novice
Sorry.
quarters in the tower library. That's actually cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
know
glad-
that either. That's really cool.
It's
I
very
was just
cool.
being aggressive for no reason. Um, I mean, but like secondary structures can be done in a way that doesn't make it look like a little peen. Do you
Everything
feel
looks like a
me?
penis up in Torptash. It's true. I just feel like when you're designing a building like this, like you have a responsibility not to make it phallic unless you want to. If this
Yeah.
is the Black Tower in the future, phallic away.
That can look like a peen. In fact, it probably should.
They're approaching
Uh,
from the south. Aren't they approaching from the north? I think the White Tower is in the south of Tar Valon.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
all
I
right,
don't
well,
remember.
let's check on our poll. 54% of people saw the peen, so we're not crazy, but it's not as widespread as I thought it would be. Okay, we're walking around inside Tar Valon.
Yes, super cool. Oh my gosh, all the costumes, all the hair.
The costumes and hair were great. The scenes, I wanted like a few zoomed out more because it felt like it was very cool. I loved the design of everything, but it did feel very small, like one block soundstage to me. which is what it was.
It's because it was.
I know that's what it was, but it didn't feel big, like a huge city
Expansive.
to me.
Yeah.
Like this scene does, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But just walking right into a straight up camel, sure.
I literally sat in my room and I went, a camel. I love the camel. What a good touch. I didn't know that that's the animal that would make me go, oh, Metropolis. Yes, this is a Metropolis. Like instantly I saw camel and was like, oh, I get it. I know where we are. And like, who knew?
Aren't camels? I feel like I don't mind the camel being there, but I feel like they're only described in like I thought Sharans had camels. Or
I
do they
don't
have camels when they
care.
cross the waist? It doesn't matter.
I don't care who
Yes,
has
the tower
camels.
is a long shaft, but you know what isn't a long shaft? This chode of a tower.
Not a long shaft. No,
Anyway.
that looks like a chode. Anyway.
Dragonmount is southwest from Tar Valon, so they're on the northeast side.
Yeah, so that can't be the clitoris because it's
Wait,
on the
but
southern
if they're on
tip.
the north side, then this is east of the city.
My brain broke.
It's either southeast of the city or northwest. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're in here. We're in the city. They're like, we're doing things. This guy's getting a haircut. Do your thing. And then who's that?
I did not see this.
Yeah.
Until you posted it. Hello, Paddon Fane. How did you notice him?
Paddon Fane.
How did you notice him?
I
freaking eagle-eyed genius.
Heard the whistling the first time.
I didn't hear the whistle.
I heard the whistle the first time, and I was like, "Ooh, Paddon Fane's in the city." And then I went back. And looked for him after I finished.
That is crazy. Is this the only time we see him? I didn't notice him at all.
There is one other time we see him, but I didn't screenshot it.
When is that? Just like in one of these little scenes?
Oh, I can look for it if you.
No. Just tell me.
He's just earlier when they're just walking around Tar Valon. He's like hanging out.
And he's clearly like watching them, like following them.
I don't mind creepy Paddon Fane being here.
No, I love it.
I really like the way like beggar Paddon Fane is described when Rand sees him in Caemlyn as this like creepy bundle of rags no one can stand to be around, who scuttles around like a beetle, and like that language just always struck me as like good evocative descriptive writing. And they're not going for a scuddly beggar. No, but that's okay.
He has not been brought low yet, and I do not think he never will be brought low, or that will come later so we can see his change.
Okay, he's sitting at a cafe when they're watching Logain.
Oh, interesting. Thank you, Ash. I think we're gonna watch that happen, right? I don't think Paddon Fane is our antagonist in this season yet. He will be soon, but they are just like setting him up for the future. Like we know
he has to follow them to Fal Dara.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think that most non-readers will be paying attention to him. Like they won't remember Paddon Fane.
No, so that's why I love this, because then non-readers are going to go back in like a season and be like, what the fuck? And that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, then
let's talk about it.
We meet old Sausage Fingers himself.
Old Sausage Fingers, old saucer eyes, loyal.
His fingers are too damn big.
Okay, here's the thing. So we all know Rafe's comments about like it was either make him do this only with makeup and have it be affordable and have him, or do him CGI and not have him, and we'd rather have him.
About his fingers.
Well, that's what Sarah.
Oh,
once more.
I'm sorry. Finish your point, really.
Once more. And so like I get it, Rafe. I agree with you. Same with the wolves, right? Like I get it. They're not big scary dire wolves, because I would rather have little dogs instead of like giant CGI wolves for like 5 seconds. Right. I would much rather have practical effect loyal than like CGI perfect loyal for like 5 seconds and then never see him. And for the most part, I like what they've done. The fingers are atrocious. The fingers are atrocious. They're distracting. He can't even move them. He can't use his hands. They gotta go. They gotta go.
Yeah.
They gotta go. They gotta
They were
go.
a bad choice. I know they were trying to be true to the books, and they probably felt like, well, he's not gonna be 10 feet tall, so this will be something to satisfy readers. We'll give them the sausage fingers. And
And
I
I
think
see that.
they
And I
just
take
don't
it and I
they
say
don't
thank
work.
you so much. I say thank you so much, but no thank you.
And
Thank you so much. No thank you.
if there is just a,
The way they're like extra bulbous at the ends
yeah, it
makes me
freaks me out.
uncomfortable.
If he could use them
Yeah,
dexterously, I'd
if
be
he
like,
could,
"I can get used to this," but he looked like he
he
was
can't.
wearing Mickey Mouse gloves,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
a lot of people don't like his hair. The hands are the best part. Wow, hard disagree. I love that for you. Love that for you. I'm so glad you love them.
The actor
Um,
is great. I
oh
love
my
he
god, he's
sounds
so
like
good.
fucking
His
Loyal.
voice is mwah, and I love him. I love his face. I love his mannerisms. I think he gets the like slowness really well. I'm seeing penises again. I can't help it. I know some people didn't. Well, congratulations. I'm shouting always. So this time it happens to be at you. I know some people didn't like his orange hair. I'm finding it interesting. I love his snout. I gotta say it. I actually love the
I
snout.
uh, I
I
think it's
do.
okay in this shot. There was one shot where it looked like prosthetic to me, where I'm like,
Yeah,
it
I
was
see it.
distractingly prosthetic.
It has like a roughness
Yeah, that's what
on the
bothered me, like,
bridge.
it looks like a
No,
weird texture.
I liked that because that's like there's something different about it from skin. It doesn't look like human skin to me. It looks like a bit like a dog's nose almost.
Yeah,
And I know
that's
that's
how it's
not just
described in the books. Um,
yeah, as like snoutish. And so I thought that was really interesting and I'm into it. But the brow, he loses facial expression. I
he
agree.
loses facial expression with the brow. I could do without the beard because he's supposed to be very young for an Ogier, and I think that would have given him some more room. I don't know, like, I find the color of the hair,
I find it a little distracting.
it's a little leprechaun-y to me.
It's a
Just, like,
little and
it's
it
distracting.
bumped for me when he was like, "Oh, Aiel have red hair." And
Yeah,
I
it's
was like,
like, "You got red hair,
you have
motherfucker."
red hair." And he's like, "Aiel have red hair." And I was like, "You have red hair." You know that TikTok where the guy's
Yeah,
like talking about the Chicago style pizza and he's like, "Where's the cheese?" And the guy's like, "It's under the sauce." But where's the cheese? It's under the sauce. But there's
yeah,
not enough cheese there. The cheese is under the sauce.
yeah.
Like when he was like, "You have red hair," you're like an Aiel man. I was like, "You have red hair." You have red
You're
hair.
right,
You're like,
Ash,
"No,
that
you
he
have red
ain't
hair."
human. I don't know, it was
Exactly.
just
That's the point. That's why I like that he doesn't have smooth human skin.
this dude is really tall, this actor, and I feel like if you're going to abandon the 10 feet tall CGI because you're like, "It's just too expensive and we wanna have Loyal as a character," that's fine. I'm with
Mhm.
you, but the situation is fraught. You have to be carefully taught. If you talk, you're gonna
Mhm.
get shot. I'm
Mm,
sorry. Every time I hear "I'm with you," I have to finish it. But,
it's true. You've done this before. I love it.
I have to do it. It's compulsive. Um, I would rather they just kinda left him looking more human and just, like, maybe give him the nose, but then otherwise
Yeah.
leave him the actor and, like, just tell us he's an Ogier. Like, give him some weird colored contacts, give him some weird, like, furry elf ears. Some big old furry elf ears, and I think that
Mhm.
would've been enough. Um,
Yeah, I think I agree with you. We didn't see anything on about his ears. Like
well,
I
my mom really liked him, and she doesn't know anything about this character. Let me clarify,
Okay,
mom, as a
listen.
character, Loyal's fantastic.
Oh my god, we love him so deeply. That's kind of why we're going in on it because he's like so precious to us and so amazing. So please don't let us ruin him for you. I think he's fantastic, except for those fingies. They gotta go. They gotta go.
Yeah,
The fingies gotta go.
the fingies
Sorry.
gotta go.
I'm
Everything
gonna
else
be
can
ruthless.
stay, but the
Yeah.
fingies gotta go.
I truly
As
think that everything else will grow on me and I will grow to love it and be like, you know what? I don't mind this choice. But the fingies, I will never love. I will always hate anti fingies, not my fingies.
yeah.
I'm gonna be ruthless about the fingies. I'm gonna be absolutely ruthless, will not change my mind. Just intractable about the fingies. Not a fan.
He is amazing. Weird is wrong about this topic. We don't dislike Loyal. I think the actor is doing an incredible job. I
Oh,
love the way he's written. Like I think he's
hmm
very much loyal. It's
on
just his fingers are distracting because he's wearing
on
Mickey
the
Mouse
whole,
gloves.
yes, I'm we're being nitpicky, but on the whole, I think the impression I got from Loyal, I was very happy. I was very
Yeah,
happy with the Loyal I saw. I love the way he spoke. I love his cadence. I love the words he chose. shows. I love the everything.
His voice is great. I love in the scene at the end when they well, let's just get to it. We'll get to it. Okay. So I just liked this shot. Pretty building again. They got a lot of
And
cool
a
sets.
pretty building and a pretty
Pretty
boy.
boy.
He's so pretty. I love to look at him.
Oh, the fingers gotta go. That's
He
true.
doesn't stop at fingies. He goes full
Okay.
hand.
This is the only thing that I actually clipped because I want us to watch it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because I have questions for you.
Yeah. We probably have the same question.
Okay. I'm gonna ask what your question is once we've seen it.
There's no sound because YouTube will kick us off if we have
That's right.
sound.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's just in
Okay.
Matt's head, right?
That's my question. Did this actually happen?
Yeah.
I think that I think it's gotta be a delusion. One, because he looks at Matt and not Rand.
Yeah.
And two, because see where he
Yeah.
is in the cage, he's slumped down, and then like a split second later, his like face
Yeah.
is in the bars, like
It's a delusion. I think he does look up at them. I think he sees them
Yes, I think this
because
is real. This is
we
real.
all know we all know he can see Taviran. I wouldn't even be surprised if he starts laughing there when he sees Rand because
Yes.
he's like,
And
"Oh, and I thought I was the Dragon Reborn.
yeah, right.
I'm a
No, I
fucking
think
idiot."
I think that did happen. Like, and I think we're gonna get him explaining that later in the season or in another season. I saw somebody, and both Rand, and in this moment in real life, both Rand and Matt think he's looking at Matt, but
Yeah.
he's really looking at Rand.
I think he laughs a little bit. I think right here is
Mm-hmm.
basically when it becomes uh Matt delusion. He's not laughing this much. This is Matt delusion.
That's delusion.
Rand, because Rand, if Logain were sitting there acting like that, Rand would be watching Logain, but he's
Yeah.
watching Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is
the see,
pure
look,
delusion.
his face is in the bars, and you can't
Yeah,
physically move that fast. He's also like chained and tied down.
yeah. This
I
is
love
Matt
this shot though.
delusion faux show. Great shot.
God, he's so good.
I love
So
Alvaro.
scary.
Matt. Or sorry, let me do my Rand voice here. Matt. Anyway, he's very pretty.
Scary. Very
Um,
pretty. Oh my god, he's so pretty.
yeah.
Ugh, Barney is so talented, unfortunately.
Sad to lose him. But if Rand actually thinks Matt is the Dragon Reborn, wouldn't he be wondering if Matt had gone mad already? Yeah, I think Rand is worried about Matt. Like I think Matt
Yeah.
is acting like he's seeing things.
Hmm.
And okay, thank you for reminding me, Marissa. This brings me back to another point that um I want to get to as soon as we finish
Hmm.
this plot point. We're almost done. Uh last scene, Loyal's like, remember when you never mentioned Nynaeve to me at all on screen? Well, I went and found her.
Yeah, I
And
thought that was a little convenient, but I also loved the way he chose to start it with, "Do you know Ogier can go
yeah,
into the like
the
White
tower grounds.
Tower?"
Do
Like
you
as
know
if
Ogier
that was
can
the
go into the
important
tower
part.
grounds? And then you told me to
Very
find a
loyal to
woman with
me.
a braid. Very, I love her, like just continuing his conversation in the background. A very distinctive cultural feature that made her very easy
Yeah.
to find. The braid is a. Oh,
Yeah. Love that. Hair
yeah.
is a way you can identify humans. He's so perfectly
Oh,
loyal.
you're right, Pintor Tash. I meant to record that. Rand says blood and ashes. Fucking finally, someone says it.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, right when they walk into Tarval and like they see the
Blood and
camel and Rand
ashes.
is like right after the camel, Rand is like blood and ashes. Sorry, I
Oh my
didn't do my Rand
god.
voice. Blood and ashes.
Finally, I didn't notice that. I missed that too.
Yes, this scene was
Wow.
top
I was
notch loyal
busy. I
content.
was busy screaming out loud in my room. A camel.
Yeah. This so Jan, this is why like we're not anti-loyal. They've captured loyal very well. It's just I feel bad for the actor not being able to act
And
with
use
these
his hands
gloves. Anyway,
whatsoever. Yeah.
This scene, Nynaeve comes in. I like it. It's like that scene in Camelin where,
Ugh, how
and
great is
then,
it when she goes, "We are two rivers folk."
oh yeah,
Like, I was like,
great.
"Yes, bitch. Like, you're wrong. You cannot fix him. Like, you do need the Aes Sedai. You're absolutely wrong, bitch." But loved the confidence. Was very naive. Was
Yeah,
very two rivers folk take care of their own.
yeah, it was good.
Very,
I love
two rivers
Barney.
stubborn.
Barney snapping. I love Happy Barney when he sees Nynaeve, but then
Yeah.
Dagger Barney. I keep calling the
Dag-
character Barney, but it's Matt.
yeah,
I'm
sure.
sad to lose Barney Harris. Uh, yeah,
Matt
I thought it
Shadar.
was good. Matt Shadar,
But then
freaking
I
Matt
love how he
Shadar.
instantly goes like, "I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry. I'm
sorry. Yeah.
sorry." Yeah. That was very cute, but sweet and sad and awful, and I'm nervous to see what happens to our poor Matt Shadar.
Yes. Yeah, I'm nervous. Well, he says in the scene, "You told me about this person."
Yeah, so they're
Which is
referencing a conversation we just never saw, an off-screen
yeah,
conversation.
and um, yes. So in the next conversation they have, where Rand and Nynaeve are talking, and Rand is like, "I think Matt can channel," which is wild that he
It's
told
just
her that.
crazy. Yeah.
That was a wild
Well, it's
choice.
not that wild because they know that one of the 4 of them can channel, and so he's like, "I think it's
Yeah,
him."
that's true. Just very different from the books.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Yeah,
I
and
mean, this
then
that story of Nynaeve healing Egwene,
that's
that
in the
is from the
books.
books. That's
Yeah,
canon.
I think the question some people in chat were asking is, did Nynaeve ever specify, like, did she say anything to make it clear that she is the one who healed Egwene in that scene? Because we know she did.
I don't think Nynaeve ever knew.
She doesn't know that.
No, I don't think she knew that.
Yeah.
Both in the books and in the show, I don't think
But
she
did she
knows.
even say, like, um, Rand was probably describing Egwene and Lael mistook Nynaeve for Egwene. Ah, interesting. Have you
Oh,
had thoughts
that's
about the Jane Farstrider and Egwene?
yeah.
Yeah. Alex's non-reader parents got the impression that Nynaeve healed Egwene. Mom, if you're in the chat, tell us, did you get the impression that Nynaeve healed Egwene's bone break?
Bone break
The
fever.
the disgusting fever that I did not need her to go into that much detail about.
Yeah, I liked it.
Stop making me watch people eat. Stop making me watch people get sliced up. Stop going into detail about people's legs cramping so bad that their legs
And
snap.
to that I say, grow up, Sarah.
And to
Grow
that,
up.
I say no.
Fair. You know what?
I
Fair.
refuse.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
but okay, to um Marissa's question from earlier. Where is it, Marissa? Oh yeah. So the show is trying so hard to not make us think Rand is the Dragon Reborn. Like,
Which, yeah.
lots of people already think it because he is the tall white one in the group, and so like I most of my friends' immediate reaction who have non-readers is like, "Oh, well, the tall white one is the chosen one,
I
obviously."
mean, also he's
And
like so handsome.
he's very hot.
And he hasn't done
And
anything.
he's got a bird sword.
He's got a bird
Um
sword.
he hasn't done anything, and they're trying so hard. They're like, "We're not going to give you any hints. We're going to cut the lightning scene from Brain Spring and just give him super strength." And uh what bothered me though in retrospect today was like I feel like they've been cheating a little bit
Mm,
by not showing us Rand getting sick after channeling in Brain Spring,
mhm,
instead showing us Matt get sick and having Tom tell us about the sickness that comes with channeling.
mhm.
I I feel like it's cheating.
I saw a tweet of Sarah Nakamura's where somebody asked her, like, why didn't Rand get sick? Or are we going to see Rand get sick? And
Mhm.
she just said, watch and find out.
Yeah.
So
Um
maybe it's coming.
it
Because
might be
that's been on
coming.
my mind too, and it feels like it's on everybody's mind. So
It's
maybe
been
he hasn't channeled enough. Maybe he's going to have an instance where he really does channel and then he gets sick. Like maybe that wasn't enough to trigger the sickness. I don't know.
yeah. Um Kenny Cross says channeling sickness is not canon in the show, and Benji agrees. Maybe. And it is true. Like when Tom is describing what sickness he thinks Matt has, it is more the madness. It is the
Right.
taint
Yeah.
rather than just pure like new channeler sickness.
And
So
to be
either
fair, we
cutting it,
only deal with new channeler sickness for like a book and a half, maybe, and then we never
I
talk
know.
about it again.
I just think it's cheap. Like I just it feels to me like they're lying to non-readers to like lead them astray because they're pushing so hard to make this a mystery that they're just like not giving us any information about Rand. And
Yeah.
if it's like a cutback to during that month we see Rand, oh, he was sick. We just didn't give you that information. That kind of stuff just bothers me. It's like I it
Well, you're
doesn't
operating under the assumption that channeling sickness exists in this
right.
world and they're
If it
just not
turns out it
showing it to
doesn't,
us.
that's okay.
Yeah. Which I think is more likely that they would just like axe that storyline altogether. I would agree with you if like I kind of agree with you that they're a little bit cheating with Rand by not having him do anything. Like I see,
Yeah.
yeah, the door is we get the door and then we get him persuading the farmer not to pull the arrow. But that could be more Taviran, in my opinion.
Oh,
Taviran
yeah.
shit. The door is definitely channeling, but and the Aiel, I get no, I'm talking strictly about channeling,
Just
right?
channeling, just reasons to think he's the dragon. Because I feel like the show, because the show took some liberties. They added shit to make us think it's Matt by
Right,
saying by having Tom say, "I think Matt can channel."
right.
And, like, they're adding shit, and I guess, like, I don't even think the Dragon Reborn mystery thing should have been they're putting way more focus on it in the show than I would have.
Oh, I like it. I really like it. I
I
think
think
it's
it's fun.
fun.
I think it's fun for new readers.
Yeah, it's fun TV.
Yeah. Um, I it is Marissa says, everyone thought it was Rand after episode 3, and then they misdirected with Egwene and Matt and Nynaeve at the end of episode 4.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who think that Nynaeve is the dragon.
I just think it just felt cheap to me. Um,
I think
I
I'm with you a little bit. To me it's obvious, right? Because we know one the truth, and
right.
two because we know TV. Like it does feel obvious the way they're trying to misdirect us and not even give like a little bit of hint it's Rand. I'd like a little bit more, a
Yeah.
little more truth to it.
This is like a broader problem I have with fiction. It's just like a bugbear, a pet peeve of mine when the mystery rides on information being withheld from the audience rather than being withheld from the characters because like
Hmm.
Rand and Matt know if Rand has been sick. Only we don't know that.
Yeah.
And that's like a choice the show is making to withhold it from us. So it's not like a mystery to the minds of the characters. I don't know. I could totally be wrong on this,
I don't.
except
Yeah.
that I
I think
launched
they're
a poll
just.
on Twitter and 59% of people agree with me that he should have gotten sick and that it was cheating.
Oh. Okay.
So
I think they're
I'm
just
not
going to cut
alone.
it completely. I think channeling sickness is out,
Yeah.
gone. And if it's
Interesting.
out, then I'm not as mad about it. I just wish they'd given us like a little bit more Rand, because Alex makes a point up here that the show's choice to not do as much with Rand and to hide who the Dragon Reborn is kind of, I'm not going to say backfire because I think that's a little too strong, but it's going to end up that the one with the least amount of characterization and character work and journeys
Yeah.
and obstacles is the chosen one. And that's going to not feel as fun,
I think it's a
right?
disservice to the broader story because like one of the key stories in the Wheel of Time is Rand. It's like, what is the experience of a chosen one? And we aren't getting these moments that you do get in the Eye of the World because it's not a mystery in the Eye of the World. In the
Right.
Eye of the World, Robert Jordan's like, what's it like to be afraid you're the chosen one? And so we get Rand being like, oh, fuck, does this mean I'm the dragon over and over
Yeah.
again? And like being in denial, but we don't get any of that. And we like learn nothing about Rand as a character. So
Yeah.
like, they're not giving themselves a foundation to arc from. I know that they will, like, once it's revealed. I mean, Rand's story is great, and it's not like Rand is, like, likable or interesting in the eye of the world until you're on rereads, but,
Yeah. So
um
I'm hoping like we had a big Perrin episode, we had a big Matt episode, we had a big Nynaeve episode, like maybe we'll get a big Rand episode
yeah,
next. And
yeah.
then so when the reveal happens, it won't feel as like this guy? Who? you know, or
Yeah.
like, ah, I wish it was my fave because my fave is a badass. This guy, what has he done? You know?
Yeah. Rahaf says that they feel like some people are going to be pissed when it's a pretty white man, and Tibor suggests that only racists will be pissed. And Tibor, I disagree. I'm with Rahaf on this one. Um, I think people will be disappointed, especially when it's like the most boring character and it's the white guy. And I think that's for a couple
Yeah.
reasons. I think first of all, like the chosen one is always white. So it's not like the reason people will care is because of the context that the show exists in, where the chosen one is always a white man. And they've given us like it's almost like tantalizingly cruel to give us all these like here are two strong women of color, here are these two like here's like a poor kid, and here's like a black man, and like
Hmm.
but no, it's none of those. Like we gave you these interesting options, but it's not it's none of those.
Yeah.
It's the boring white guy.
Yeah, I think people will be disappointed, and I think they have every right to be, and I think they should feel that, and I hope they keep watching because it's worth it.
Yeah.
Um, and there's like, you know, I hate this. I hate this, you guys. I
Yeah, I
hate that
think
I'm even saying this, but there's like plot reasons as to why he's a white
but I
guy.
don't really think
You
it
feel me?
matters. Like people say that, but fuck that shit. Like the Aiel don't have to be gingers. The Aiel could have been anything,
That's true.
and they don't even have to be like a racially like homogenous group. They
I just
could have
think it
dropped
makes
it
more sense that they would have been racially homogenous when they
than
lived
than
in
any other
a
group.
than any of the other groups. I don't think it makes any
Sure.
sense for any other group to be racially homogenous except for the IEL because they were
Yeah.
already a racially homogenous group before the breaking, and then they were lived in a incredibly like physically
Oh, sure.
and dangerous and resource empty land that like only certain tribes might have survived.
I still think they could have dropped it though. Like they didn't have
Yeah,
to be homogenous in the Age of Legends. They don't have to be
totally.
now. And I think people will be disappointed. Like
Yeah,
I
and I
think
think they
from
have
what
every
we've
right to be.
seen, I think Yosha will do a good job with the character. And
Yeah,
I think Yosha's hot as hell. So like I'm not saying he's gonna be a bad Rand. Um
I think he's
I
gonna be a
just
great Rand.
but I do think people will be disappointed.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think they
think
have every right to be, but I really hope they come back.
part of the reason that people will be disappointed, and that's something that is kind of a critique of the show. Um, they have set it up where I think people want their favorite characters to be the Dragon Reborn.
Mhm.
So it'll be disappointing when their favorite character is not the Dragon Reborn. It's like, ah, the white guy gets to be the Dragon Reborn again because they
Right.
haven't done a good job setting up the idea that this is something you do not want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't
Um,
wanna be the dragon, but also they haven't done a good idea setting up Rand as, like, your fave. You
right.
know? Plenty of people are like, "Matt's my fave." "Oh, no, Perrin's my
Yeah.
fave."
Why would you
"Egwene,
like
my fave."
Rand?
"Nynaeve, my fave." "Rand, who the fuck is that
Who
guy?"
the fuck is
Right?
Rand?
Rand is nobody's fave, and, like, gimme that. Like, if we had Tam's flashback, which hopefully we're gonna get, that might make him somebody's fave, right? And then he can do something sick nasty. Um, yeah, that is cool. Okay, yeah, that's totally I love that. Um, that's true. I grew up with an Armenian kid who had red hair. Um,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, he's just nobody's fave. So one, the Dragon Reborn should not be a thing you want your fave to be. But two, shouldn't Rand be one at least somebody's fave at this point? We're
Yeah,
5
you've given us
episodes
no
in.
reason to like him
Mhm.
because they're so afraid of people thinking he's going to be the dragon because they want that to be surprising or something. I don't know. I think it just would have been okay if we knew who the dragon was. Um,
Yeah, that's I see your argument there and I respect
yeah,
it. I don't agree. I think
yeah.
it's way more fun for television to have the mystery. I'm a little surprised it went on this long.
Well, that's all I mean. Like it could have been 3 or 4 episodes, but like
Yeah.
episode 5, like by now, like we don't have that much more time. Like we got 7 seasons of 8 episodes left. They got a lot of arcing on all these characters to do. Like, and
Yeah.
no one else can really start their journey until it's revealed, right?
Yeah.
Because like the other characters have very interesting arcs to get to as well.
Totally.
But
Yeah,
now we're in this
I'm
holding
with you on that.
pattern.
So if it doesn't happen in the next episode, I'm gonna be really confused. Or if we don't get anything Rand at all, I'm gonna be like, guys, come on, give me some.
Yeah.
Because that'll
As
be
people are
disappointing.
pointing out in the chat, yes, lots of different racial groups can have red hair. and that's all that they've specified in this show. So I think I would assume we'll get racially diverse Aiel just based on the rest of the casting.
Oh, that'd be
Would
sick. I'd
Why
love
wouldn't
that.
we? Um, Rahaf says the reveal is episode 7, but I don't know that, Rahaf.
How do you know that, Rahaf?
I don't want to know. No
Oh, okay.
spoilers here. You can spoil the books. You can
spoil
spoil
the books. You
anything
can't
that's
spoil the
aired,
show.
but no leaks, no
No
promos,
leaks.
no future episodes, none of those plot summaries. Get out of here.
No, I don't want a plot summary. I don't want those.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. Thank you, but no thank you. Oh.
It's
Oh
true
my
to the
gosh.
first book. It's obvious as a reader that it's Rand, but no one in the world knows for sure until the end. Yeah, I know. No summaries. I don't want these episode summaries. Anyway,
Okay.
You don't think Rand should be anybody's favorite? He's a character that should be loved and hated. I mean, Rand is my favorite character.
Yeah,
love Rand.
I think he should be somebody's favorite, not everybody, but there should be at least like some people in the world that are like, that's my guy. That's the guy I relate with, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love Egwene because I relate to Egwene.
Yeah. I love Rand. I just want my boy to get a full. I think Rand's arc is incredible and beautiful and powerful, and I just don't want them to get rid of it. I don't think they will.
What arc do you think they'll get rid of?
Oh, nothing. Like his interesting arc is actually after he finds out he's the dragon.
Yes.
So like I know that they'll get there.
Okay. Yeah. We
I have
gotta.
I have no reason to worry. Just misplaced anxiety. Yeah.
Oh,
Team Rand all day. Yeah.
great.
Rand is best.
I'm seeing more like confirmation that like the Aiel are almost certainly going to be racially diverse. I'm very excited for that. I had never really pictured it. I was like, I kind of assumed that that was the one they weren't going to do. I don't know why I assumed that, but I just did. And now I'm picturing it, and it's way cooler. It's just way cooler when it's not all white people.
I think it makes more sense anyway. Like,
yeah,
I think the Dashane Aiel in the Age of Legends, there was no reason that they had to be a homogenous racial group. First of all, that whole group is weird. Like,
they are weird.
I don't like them. These weird,
I
like,
personally don't understand why they even exist. Like,
why did the
Aiel? Why did the Aes Sedai need like a cast of servants? That I don't super get.
That's why I think it's weirder if it's like a racial group, because then it's like you have like a race-based like caste servitude system, and I don't like that.
I thought that's what it was though, because I thought it was inherited. Like you
right, but that's what I don't like. Like,
yeah.
Isn't it better if the Dashane Aiel are a group you opt into joining?
It's like a job that you, like
You're
it's
just
a
like,
job
wow,
that you sign up for.
I can't channel, but these channelers are really important for the world, so I want to serve them.
Oh, I vastly prefer that. I just assumed it was one way. I think maybe, is it canon that it's like family and inherited, or is that something I literally made up in my mind?
I always assume that as well, but I don't know that that's canon.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I like it way better as if it were a job, so then it could be racially homogeneous or heterogeneous. Thank you.
And then
heterogeneous.
Like, after the breaking, it becomes calcified as this like culture rather than job you opt into.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, that's what I hope. The Age of Legends is a farce.
that true. might be true, baby.
I mean, it wasn't actually a paradise, that's for sure.
Yeah,
it's really funny to me reading
Forsaken.
Reading not the companion, the world of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, because Robert Jordan was a man of a particular generation who existed during particular global Cold Wars. And
I know what you're gonna say.
I love his description of the Age of Legends, because he's like, there's no poverty, there's no hunger, like everyone shared everything, everyone got what they needed, like you didn't make money, like there's whatever. It was a capitalist system. And I'm like, sure it was, RJ. Sure it was.
Yeah.
Sounds like a capitalist system.
Yeah, sounds like
describing.
it. I thought you were going to describe how Robert Jordan describes the Aiel accents as being like Slavic in nature.
Oh, no.
How Robert Jordan always pictured the ideal Aiel as sounding like Slavic. Oh, it's so funny.
Video says if they're all red hair, then doesn't it have to be inherited? Well, we're talking about the Dashane Aiel from the Age of Legends, which was 3,000 years ago. I think at this point, like they've calcified into a culture. I
Mm,
also, it's never said that all Aiel have red hair. It's just that red hair only shows up amongst Aiel,
right.
I think is what we've heard.
Right, because there are some that are blonde, and there's even the rare dark-haired Aiel.
Yeah. Because they're having people come in from like Tigraine goes there. Like people are entering the gene pool.
Well, they say when Tigraine comes in, they're like, we should have stripped her and sent her back to the border towns, but for some reason they kept
Yeah.
her. So I think
But
she's
like
like a
over the
one in a
years,
million.
some people from the wetlands, some people from Shara, who knows?
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Any
Do you
phase,
think they're gonna keep Shara? I think they're gonna cut Shara.
I think it will exist. Why would they cut it? Like it can exist,
I don't think it's
and
gonna exist. I think it's gonna
why
be
not?
gone. I just don't think
What
it's
do they
gonna
lose
exist.
from having it be like a land that exists that people can mention every now and again?
Like where are they and what are they doing and what's up with
They're on the
them?
other side of the waste. That happens in the books too. I don't know,
But
like where
but this is the end of the world, so why isn't everybody participating in the end of the
they
world?
do at
But that's what
Tarmagedon.
I'm saying, they're not going to.
I think they might.
No,
Why
I think
not?
they're gone. I
Because
think
there's
they're
nowhere
out.
else for the Dark One's army to come from. If they want humans to fight for them, and if it's just Trollocs, then it's like the Trollocs are not dangerous by that point. But an entire
That's a good
continent worth
point.
of people who've been corrupted by Demandred.
Mm,
I kind of liked that they came out of nowhere because entering Tarmagedon, I was like, how is this even going to be a struggle? What are they
yeah,
fighting? Like Trollocs ain't shit. And then
that's true, that's true. It gave us some stakes that, like, all of a sudden I don't know, maybe it'll be the Shan instead.
yeah, I really wish we'd gotten the Shara books
I
because
wanted the Shara book so
as points out
bad.
in the books, they come across as a last minute like Orientalist villain group, and that is how they come across.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
like, I want to see the story because like Sharans are just humans, right? So what's the
Uh
story of how Bow the Wild took over Shara and did this to them?
I wanted the Shara books so bad. I could tell that there was lore there. I could tell that there was like culture and history that Robert Jordan had thought of and just like wasn't going to be in this book. You know, you can just like smell it on his
Yeah.
descriptions of their scars and their clothes and their I could just smell that there were books in there and I'm never going to get to read them and I'm just sad about it.
Oh, there were I think there were going to be books, and it's very sad. I wanted them.
I wanted
Um,
them.
I wanted them.
Is there anything else to talk about in this episode?
Uh, Having an entire culture exist just to be subverted by the Dark One as it feels bad to you. And yeah, that's why I want to see it. um,
Yeah.
I want to see the story. I agree, but that's why I feel like there's a story there
Maybe they'll write one. You know what? Maybe they'll write one.
because I don't think it's all of Shara personally. We
Mm,
only have Demandred's side of the story, but maybe he only had a following in Shara. But maybe there's lots of Sharans who are still there. Maybe there's a brutal civil war. I don't know.
that's really interesting. Maybe it'll be like a marine subplot kind of. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Game of Thrones, but like, yeah,
I
maybe we'll see Shara. Vastly prefer that
think it'd
to
be cool to
cutting
see
it.
Shara.
But I don't want Shara to be like I want at least a little bit before like the last freaking episode. You feel me?
Oh, Varka asks continuity minor point. Stepan drugs Lan, but Moraine doesn't notice.
Well,
Stepan
it's
gives
at night, so I
Lan,
think she's asleep
yeah, Stepan gives Lan sleepy time tea
at
in
sleepy
wine
time.
at sleepy time. So
So I think
I don't know.
Maureen is probably asleep, because they were gonna stay up all night, right? He said,
Yeah, there is a
I'll
civil war
stay
in
with
Shara,
you. I'll stay with you until the morning." And so
right? To make sure you don't commit seppuku, and then lo
and
and
then he
behold,
goes Stipanuku.
he commits
Oh,
seppuku. Poor little Stepan.
I know. Stipuku is so funny, but it's so sad. I really hate Stipuku but for how funny it is because it makes
Yeah,
me so sad, but also Stipuku is so
it's
good.
very funny.
I hate it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's really
um,
sad. It's really sad.
it's really sad.
I liked
Okay.
it. Anyway, good episode. Not a lot happened. Excited for the next one. So I thought this one was gonna
The
go.
Shanchan are not a homogenous racial group. They're a relatively
No.
homogenous culture, but that's a whole ass continent.
Yeah, they're incredibly heterogeneous in the Shanchan. That we knew.
Yeah.
Um, what was I going to say?
I agree, Jan. They were supposed to have tea, sympathy, some pillow-friendly touching. Stepan's supposed to be like, "I'm nervous, Lan Shan. I have to, I have to have sex with Ivan and Maxim for the first time, and I've never been with a man." And then Lan is supposed to say,
when
"Do you want some practice?"
Yeah, when Lan said I've never been when Stepan said I've never been with a man and Lan went, I thought he was gonna say I've been with two. I was gonna be like Lan, but the joke they actually told was way better. But I for instantly was like bisexual Lan.
I mean, Lan is clearly bisexual in this show.
Obviously, we love
It's
it.
very
We love to
obvious.
see it.
Daniel Henney can't not have chemistry with a person.
He truly has
So
chemistry with like the camera, the walls, his teacup. Oh my god, the chemistry he had with that teacup was
yeah,
stupid. Like
yeah,
he truly is just the most magnetic
yeah,
human
he's
being
incredible.
maybe ever. Maybe ever.
What they've done with Lan though, asks Tibor, and Tibor, I don't know what you're implying here. I assume it's that they've turned Lan into an
A
incredibly like
feeling human.
emotionally available and activated and hot as hell bisexual bird sword warrior.
Is that what you're referring to? Because if so, yeah,
Yes.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys, I cannot emphasize to you enough the stoic Lan that you think you want would be an awful television character. Truly unwatchable. So count your
This is
lucky
just way
stars
better.
that
I'm
we
like
got this Lan. That what
Lan
they
is
did to Lan.
also not a stone. He's actually very funny throughout the books. He's always
Very
making
funny.
jokes, and Moraine is like, "Stop
That's
making
enough.
jokes that are just barely not jokes, so I can't actively call you out."
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
yes. Yeah, I think they're just accelerating Lan's growth, so we don't have to get through it. Um, yes. Anyway, Nynaeve ain't sharing.
Not a chance.
Yeah, she will.
Not a chance.
Yes.
She's not
Hopefully
agreeing.
Rand begins his bird sword warrior training next
Oh my
episode. He's got to learn
god.
how to use that goddamn bird sword. When are we
I
gonna learn
miss.
about the bird sword?
Oh, we have to get Lan and Rand. I love them together.
If we don't see Lan and Rand shirtless and sweaty, bird sword training atop
Then I will
Dara Keep,
riot.
I will riot.
That's the only like book canon that I will riot for is that I
Yeah.
have to see Lannon and Rand shirtless training, or I'll freak out. I will freak out.
Yeah. Lan being an absolute smoke show is canon to the books as well. I actually don't know if this is true. It is implied he gets a ton of action, but I think that's just because Lan is awesome. But in New Spring, someone calls Lan ugly. Like I think straight up, like ugly. Anyway, I gotta look for that
Really?
quote. Yeah. I always imagined him as a smoke show because he's Lan. All
Yeah.
right. Mary Lou, this stream has gone on too long. We gotta get you to bed. You got a flight.
Didn't we love
morning.
it? I
We
do.
did
I'm
love
leaving for Colorado at 5 a.m. and I haven't packed.
Yes. Go pack. Go to sleep.
Sure. Whatever.
Friends, warriors, birdsword countrymen, lend me your ears for the last 2 hours,
Sun
which
boys.
you already did. Thank you for joining us. We love talking to y'all about the Wheel of Time. It is truly the most incredible thing to do.
It's really good.
It's really good, and we had a really good time.
I had a really good
y'all
time.
had a really good time.
Had a really good time tonight.
Madeline
Thanks,
Trotter is
guys.
telling you to go to bed, and there's just
Don't tell me
one
what to
last
do.
thing. There's one last thing we have to do, Mary Lou.
What's that?
Can you guess?
No. Here we go. Thank you, patrons. Babs, Ash, back that ass up. Natalie McCartney, Paige Smith, Balance Gaming, Catherine Frank, and Mistress Dovier, Katie.
And we actually got one more patron since then that I haven't added to the stream, and that is DES.
Thank you, DES. Special shout out to our newest patron, DES. Mwah.
And special shout out to our Kara Karn Babs, who will be with us on the stream tomorrow.
I won't see you. I'll be on a plane. I'll miss you very much, but you get Vic and you get Babs, and it's going to be awesome.
If y'all want to be in our Patreon patron song and in our stream, donate to us on Patreon at patreon.com/Maidens of the Spear. You can also find us on YouTube at Maidens of the Spear, Twitch, I guess, if you want to, Maidens of the Spear, and Twitter. You can find me at Spear Maidens. I'm Sarah Kaplan.
And you can find me at Mary Lou Larry Moo.
That's
on Twitch,
right.
Instagram, and Twitter. Bye.
Bye. And I'll be back on tomorrow at 11 a.m. PST. Bye, everyone.